The last 30 years, I've been focusing on the future, thinking about how can we prepare for the future. I've been involved in education and learning for those last 30 years. About 25 years ago, I started an international school for my children. And one of the key questions that I asked was, what do we need to prepare our children for the future? And so I've been thinking very deeply about what do we need to prepare for the unknown future that we have. I got involved with TED and TEDxTokyo and thinking about sharing ideas. What kind of ideas and what things do we need for the future? Also has been a core focus. Fortunately, about 5 years ago, I had the opportunity to start working with Singularity University and working with major Japanese corporations in transforming how they prepare themselves for the future, so they are not disrupted and so they can be part of making the world a better place. So the future is very dear to my heart. And I do a lot of advising for big corporations and trying to help them prepare for the future, adapt to this exponentially changing future that we have. In the next 10 years, the convergence of all the technologies we have are going to create change like we've never ever seen in the history. If you think about AI together with virtual reality, together with 5G, together with all the different technologies, together are going to create an exponential change that we've never seen before in history. So how do we prepare for that? What do we do? What is the role of school? What is the role of the parents? I think there's some very important things to think about moving forward in education. At Zhiyuヶ丘学園, we have the children during their high school years. But what's really interesting is, if you do the math and you think about 230 days out of the year the children come to school, 7 hours a day they come to school and they're learning. So moving forward, the power of technology and the power of human beings, I call it creative collective intelligence, CCI, or 1 + 1 = 11. 1 + 1 = 11, creative collective intelligence. So you have the role of technology. What role can the tool of technology play in moving the world forward and moving our children forward? Well, right now, if you think about it, if you want the answer to a question, all you need to do is speak with Alexa or look at Google and do a search. So much of the knowledge and information we need is already available to us. More and more, AI and the power of AI is going to be working together with our brain, our digital brain, together with our real brain. The digital twin concept are going to be moving forward and working together in harmony, as we're already doing with our smartphones. So as we move forward, what we know is not going to be that important, or what we learn. It's how we learn that's really going to matter moving forward. And how we learn is really about inquiry, project-based learning, coming together and working together collectively, creating and making things together, not sitting individually and memorizing something so that they can share that information. AI is much better than humans at doing that. So in Japan right now, there's a lot of discussion around STEAM education. STEAM education in many ways is no different than the education we've been learning in the 20th century. The difference is we're still learning science and technology and all of the different areas of STEAM, but we're integrating them together. Right now, the education system is each subject area is separate. But STEAM integrates things together in a logical way. So the integration, as our brain integrates things, is very important. So moving forward, one of the most powerful tools that we can use is thinking about STEAM education, or project-based learning, making and creating and doing things together. The other thing is, right now, a lot of education is top-down. The teacher standing in front of the students, telling them what they need to learn. The students are listening, but have very little opportunity to actually interact. I've had the honor of teaching a class here at Zhiyuヶ丘学園, and it's really about the students. So we co-created the classroom together, where the students sit, how they sit, the design of their classroom. And our style is we give them a little bit of information or we have a few questions, and the students together work together to find the answers to those questions. So they feel engaged, empowered, curious, and excited about learning. That's the kind of future that we need to create moving forward. And so in Japan, unfortunately, that's not happening at most schools. Most parents think they want to get their children into the top school because they're going to be set for life. But just if a student goes to a top school in Japan doesn't mean they're going to have a very successful life in the past. People are not staying in the same company for 30, 40 years. People are changing. Entrepreneurship, the skills of entrepreneurship are becoming essential, just like they were essential after World War II, when the country had to rebuild itself. Japan is in that same situation right now. So we need to be preparing students to have a global mindset, to be thinking about the rest of the world, to be able to make and create something new. When you make or create something, you're projecting to the future something that doesn't exist, and you're grabbing things, your knowledge and information you have, and you're synthesizing it together to create that future. So an environment where a child has the opportunity to make and create is really important. If I was to think about the dream education system right now, is AI would be the katekyoshi. Math, science, social studies, language arts would be taught online through AI as much as possible. The hands-on science, making and creating and doing things together would be at school. So what we really are trying to do here is nurture the whole child to create a future, a positive future that will allow them to adapt to however the world changes exponentially and to have a happy, positive life. I hope to see you and your child at Zhiyu Ga Oka Gakuen. Thank you.